guys, let's continue with place value today. So our standards say that you are able to read and write numbers to 1,000 using base 10 blocks, numerals, number names, and expanded form. So we've learned how to do everything but the number names, which we will add next week. All right, your standard also says that you are able to understand a 3-digit number as it represents hundreds, tens, and ones. And also that you can count by 100s, 100, 200, 300 as a group of 100s. All right, so we're going to go over just a few things. You will have a quiz today. We haven't taken one over place value. I want to show you some things in the packet. We're going to do some reflections over what we've learned next week. So there are some things in the packet that you can be working on during this reflection time. There are 2 packets over place value that come from the math book, the Reflex Math. All right, the first one is Lesson 10. Lesson 10 is basically a review and building on to what you learned in first grade. So it's 2-digit numbers building on to make a group of 100. It talks about how 10 tens equal a group of 100. And then it explains from there. All right, it also talks about how you can show a place value in a different way. All right, so it shows how you can show 5 tens and 2 ones, or you can move a group of tens over to the ones place and add that group of tens as 10 ones. Now, you can skip this part for right now because it's not actually part of the place value standard. It will help you when we start regrouping with 2-digit subtraction. So if you think you're ready for it and you and your parents want to try it, that's fine, but you can skip the part about where it says to make that place value a different way. So you can skip that part of it if you want to. If it's just showing the place value the regular way, like the next page, how many hundreds, tens, and ones, that's perfectly fine to practice that review. That's good review. All right, now, Lesson 11 is actually on the standard that we're working on. And this whole packet is perfectly fine review for you, okay? It's actually really good. There's even some multiple choice on there, like you would see on a test, and somewhere you could draw the place value block. So that's really good practice. Also in the packet, I made copies of some pages that some of the students are doing in class. So you can do these at home. There's some, it would normally be cut and paste, but they copied it front and back. So you could just write it in or draw it in. Next page, tell how many hundreds, tens, and ones. And then there's some like we've been doing virtually in there as well. All right, so that's just some good practice during our reflection time. All right, let's go on to our lesson today. Okay, so this is the page you completed yesterday on TPT. Once Ms. Byers attached the right one. Okay, so let's use our base 10 blocks to write the standard form and the expanded form. All right, how many groups of 100? All right, 1, 2. If there are 2 groups of 100, the value is 100, 200. So I can go ahead and write 200 over here. 2 groups of 100 It's equal to 200. I have 1, 2, 3 tens. So if I count by tens, 10, 20, 30. So 200 plus 30. And let's count how many ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's the same on my expanded form. So my standard form is 234. And my expanded form is 200 plus 30 plus 4. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's count how many groups of 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups of 100 is equal to 100, 200, 300, 400. Let's count our groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, what is 7 tens equal to? 70. Let me make sure. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And I have 1, 2, 3 ones. So 473, or my expanded form, 400 plus 70 plus 3. All right, my next one. Count. 1, 2. 2 groups of 100 is 200, 100, 200. How many groups of 10? There are no groups of 10, so I put a placeholder in of 0. And when I add my place value, I always put the 0 in so it doesn't confuse me. You don't have to, but it helps me know, hey, there are no 10s. Now let's count our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones. So I have 209. Oh, guys, you didn't even catch Miss Byers. Or you may have, and I didn't hear you loud enough. 200 plus 0 plus 9 equals 209. That 2 is worth 200. Miss Byers almost made a mistake. Goodness gracious. All right, let's go to our next one. How many groups of 100? Yes, 1. So it is worth what? 100. So let me make sure I get this right. 100. Plus, let's see how many tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tens is worth 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Plus how many ones? You don't have any ones. So what do we put? A 0 to hold its place. Plus 0. So our answer is 170. Or 100 plus 70 plus 0 equals 170. And our last one. How many groups of hundreds? 3. 3 groups of hundreds equals 300. 110 equals 10. How many ones? 2. So we have 312, or 300 plus 10 plus 2 equals 312. Okay, we'll check it, and if you had some trouble, we'll send it back to you and let you try again. Right now, we just looked at these numbers, and we did the expanded form. We stretched it out. Now, what if you just see the number, and I ask you what is the value of the underlying digit? So, say you have this number, 355. If we're looking at this number, how would you know the value of that digit? All right, this place value is the ones. This is the tens, and this is the hundreds. So underlined is the hundreds. What is the value of 3 groups of hundreds? Yeah, 3 hundreds. So we would say that 3 is equal to 300. All right, look at this number, 203. What place value? 100. What place value? Tens. What place value? 1. So that 0 is in the tens place. What is that tens place worth? If you have 0 tens, how much do you have? It's still worth 0, that's right. If you have 0 tens, you have nothing. It's still 0. Now look at this number, 867. 867. What place value? Ones. What place value? Tens. What place value? Hundreds. So the 7 is in the ones place. All right, what is that 7 worth? That 7 is worth 7 because we count by ones. Now look at this one, 567. What place value? Ones. What place value? Tens. What place value? Hundreds. What is the 5 worth? What is the value? 5 groups of hundreds is worth 500. It's worth 500. That's right. All right, now let's look at it another way. All right, you have a chart in your math kit, in your little math manipulative kit. This says hundreds, tens, and ones. If you have it in a dry erase marker, you can pause the video and go get it because you can use it for this part. I'll give you just a second to get it. Remember, with place value, numbers can be written in different ways. One of the ways is with words. All right, we haven't actually written the number names yet, but you can write it as hundreds, tens, and ones. All right, this number is written as hundreds, tens, and ones, but it may be a little confusing as the way it's written. So we're going to write this number out in our hundreds, tens, and ones chart and figure out what number it is. All right, so let's read it. 6 hundreds, 5 ones. Where should we put the 6 hundreds at? In the hundreds column, so we put a 6 here. All right, and then we have 5 ones. So where should we put the 5 at? In the ones column. Now let's look at our number. Can we just write down 65? Could that be our answer? No. This is a hundreds number, so it has to have 3 digits. What do we need to do to make this a 3-digit number? All right, it's missing a tens place digit. If it does not have tens in it, what do we put in its place? We put a 0 in there as a placeholder. So let's put the 0 in. Now, what is our number? 605. So I'm going to put number 1, 605. Now, do we have a 3-digit number? Yes, we do. All right, now I'm going to try the next one. Let's look at it. I'm going to erase yours. Let's look at the next one. 3 hundreds, 2 tens, 6 ones. Fill in your chart. Let's see what number we have. 3 hundreds, 2 tens, and 6 ones. All right, guys, what digit should we have in the hundreds place? The 3. What digit should we have in the tens place? The 2. What digit should we have in the ones place? The 6. What number? 326. All right, that one was pretty simple, right? All right, so let's try the next one. 5 hundreds, 3 ones. Write it. Let's see what you get. All right. What number should we have in the hundreds place? 5. In the tens place. There is not a tens number, so what do we put in its place? 0. What do we put in the ones place? 3. What's our number? 503. 503. Thumbs up if you got it. Very good. All right, and here's your last one. 600s, 4 10s, and 7 1s. It's your ticket to practice before your quiz. You should have 647. 647. All right, I will have some practice attached. After your practice, you may take your quiz. Make sure you're okay on the practice before you take your quiz. Do your best.